In this video, I'm going to check out Archetype Abasi from Neural DSP. Hey guys, I'm Doctor McFarland and welcome back to the channel. It's a new year and I'm very excited to start reviewing a lot of plugins that I have here in the studio. And recently there has been a huge uproar online and in the Facebook groups on the new Neural DSP product called the Quad Cortex. And even though I'm not going to go out and buy this unit, because one, it's not released till September, and then two, it's a little bit more money than I'd like to spend personally for what I do here in the studio. I don't really play out a whole lot, so I don't need another gadget to help me get great tones, since I already have the headrush to provide all that for me. But I do like, in this case, trying out new gear, and in this case I tried out the of this Archetype Abasi plugin that you see on the screen, and it has a few basic amps, a really cool way of incorporating different mics and mic positions, and even some pre-effects like compression and overdrive. And then at the end we have your time-based effects, which is delay and reverb. So pretty basic stuff, and we're going to find out if we can get some good tones out of the plugin, and then maybe they'll help you decide if the Quad Cortex is something that you want to invest in the future based on the sound of the plugins. So let's get right into it. I am using a Reverb Sensei with real hammer pickups. These are a little bit hotter than my other guitars, so even on the clean tones, you're going to hear a little bit of breakup. I'm going to try and get it as clean as I can and then go from there. So first off, let's look at the layout of the plugin here. We have an input, a gate, a stereo mono mode, a high normal oversampling, and there's some presets in here that we can go in and try out as well, which I'll do a little bit later. And we have an output. So if you've seen any of my headrush videos, you know that the input and the output stage of your digital mauler is very important. One, for gain staging, and two, just making sure you have all the ins and outs correctly set up so you're not overloading your DAW or your next device that you're going into. And on the bottom here we do have the setup, so you can see I'm using my ins and outs of my Studio Live PreSonus board over here, and the outputs are going to a stereo channel of 19 to 20, which I'm recording into Reaper right now. The audio inputs is number 13, which I'm actually plugged into the headrush gig board, and with no effects or no amps or anything going on. I'm just using it as basically a direct box going into the PreSonus mixing board, and setting that as my input channel for the plugin. And I do have a sample rate of 44.1, which is my only option. And I do have a audio buffer size of 64 samples, which is 1.5 milliseconds. So you can hear it's basically immediate, just like you would get from a real amp. And I'm not using any MIDI input devices, which I guess you could. And there is a test tone. So yeah. It just lets you know that you are passing audio through your device and you're getting everything that you need. Alright, the next thing is MIDI. So we can do MIDI mapping on this thing, which I'm not going to do with that right now. And we do have a tuner, which is great. I'll look into that in a second. And we do have a metronome. And the metronome is going to be based for your time-based effects, like your delay and your reverb. So that way your subdivisions line up according to what you want for your song. Alright, so let's go ahead and try out the tuner here. And I think it works pretty good. Alright, very good. So now that we're in tune, let's go ahead and just try out some sounds. So let's bring the gain down, the master up, the level up. Make sure we have a nice clean sound. Alright, so we basically have some low pass and some high pass filtering we can have on here. So with the low pass off, it's allowing my the full highs to go through. We have a nice sparkly clean tone that we can work off of. That's great. We do have a high pass filter. Just kind of changing the tonality a little bit, so let's go ahead and keep that on. Wow, that actually sounds really good. I like that. And I'm not sure what the blend thing is doing. Okay. So the blend is basically your dry signal. So we have fully counterclockwise is your wet signal from the neural DSP. Wow, that sounds really good. Let's go ahead and check out the pre-effects, which is this block right here. So that's with it off, and here's with it on. Make it brighter. Alright, cool. I think that sounds really good. Let's keep it at that point. And we're not going to mess with the overdrive right now. Let's go to our time-based effects. Let's add in some nice reverb. So we can change the EQ with the reverb by a high pass filter or also a low pass filter. We can darken it up. Alright, it's not too bad. It's not like a spring or anything. It's just, I guess it's like a hall reverb with some modulation kind of stuff going on. Take the pre-delay all the way down. Bring back in the lows. Alright, there's like a room kind of reverb. So here's the graphic EQ if we want to take out some stuff. Maybe bring in that, take down that. So that's always fun. And now we also have our microphones, which we can move around either by clicking and dragging, which is really fun, or you can just take the wheels itself and move that around. So you can see the distance is taking it farther back. It's like a foot away. And I'm assuming maybe, you know, right up on the grill, right there. There's a position, cap edge, cone, and then cone edge, somewhere around there. So we can really warm up the sound here just by, you know, moving the mic farther out. So let's go ahead and crank up the gain a little on the amp. Alright, that's a fun sound, but I think it'd be better served to just kind of keep it clean. Then let's add in some overdrive here. So let's turn the gain down, like a edge of breakup kind of sound. And it basically sounds like the amp when it was cranked. Alright, that's pretty fun. Let's go ahead and play some drums. Alright, so that's fun in context of some drum stuff. I still feel like it's a little like too nasally sounding. I want just brighter. So let's turn that off. So that's a nice, good, sparkly, clean sound. Let's see. Alright, it may work in some instances. I'm going to leave it for now. Let's just say we're going to save this as Sparkle Clean. So now there's that. What does this do? I'm not sure. Let's go to another amp. I'm not quite sure what this is supposed to be, but let's just figure it out. So I always enforce this rule upon myself. The more gain you have, the less bass you need. So just make sure we turn down the bass on the amp. We can raise some treble. Let's mess with the tightness a little bit. All right, let's try some drums again. Let's turn the gain down. Let's see what kind of low, mid, low gain, mid gain kind of sounds we can get. So with the gain all the way down, it kind of loses some cojones. Let's bring that back up. We're not going to get like a super low gain sound out of this amp. That's fine. So basically out of this amp, we're just going to get a pretty overdriven sound. Why not? Alright, that sounds pretty fun. Let's go ahead and kick in. Let's take off the compressor. So the compressor is definitely adding some like girth to the overall sound. Overdrive, keep it low gain. That works. Let's make it a little brighter. That actually sounds pretty cool. You can change the overall tonality just by moving the mics itself, which is very handy. Let's do a classic Royer 121 and then an SM57. Let's try that. So what I did there was just I inverted the phase of the Royer 121 mic. So you know when they're in phase, when if you flip it, it sounds worse than it did before. So turn off this mic. So that's pretty bright, and let's listen to the 121. And that's pretty dark. So with them combined, you get a nice overall tonality. I want to keep playing those kind of riffs, but it's fun. Let's keep that setting right there, and let's go ahead and add in some delay. You can kind of hear it going both ways there. Let's find a good drum beat. Alright, that works. I can tap in the tempo here. It does like an interesting tempo thing. we'll turn that off. Let's go on and finish off the video with this last amp. We do have bass, mid, and treble, master and level, and gain, and then attack on or off. So let's see what that thing does. Alright, so you can hear there's a lot of noise going on in the amp, and the gate is helping to keep that down when I'm not playing, but when I am playing, I guess the noise is going to come through a little bit. It's okay. I still like this one. I like the clean amp, and I like Hey, wait a second. Before you go, be sure to check out the description down below. There's a lot of really cool links. And definitely be sure to check out my website, drmcfarlandstudios.com. See ya.